in a time where we are constantly bombarded with sales, new gadgets, and trends that tells us to buy, buy, and buy. But with the current inflation, student debts, and financial struggles, many young people are starting to ask, do we really need all of this, all of the trends, all of the brouhaha, all of the unboxing, and trying to get everything that is in the tech world or going on in our contemporary societies? Is minimalism a way out, or is it just another trend? To join us on this beautiful topic of minimalism or consumerism is Chiamaka Mba, who is a writer and a poet and has a unique perspective on this issue. And she's also an advocate for youth. I mean, she's a youth. And by now, we should know that we have a way to approach money differently when it comes to the youth. So let's dive right in. Welcome, Chiamaka Mba. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing very well. How are you?
You really look like you're doing well. Oh, by the way, I'm fine. I like your dress. It's giving the whole
cheek. Thank you. Thank you. You look beautiful as always.
Thank you, ma'am. Oh, please don't flatter me. So you'll have to continue shortly after the break. Welcome back to Youth Hub, and I am your host, Hosanna Okarafo. Thank you for joining me, Chiamaka.
Thank you very much for having me.
So let's dive right into it. There's this, for many young people, there's this feeling of shopping. It does feel like therapy. Do you think it is normal or dangerous for young people to embrace a lot of shopping spree mechanism that is being put out there, to us?
I mean, normal, yes. Dangerous. Yeah, it is normal. A lot of people are doing that. But if you're Elon Musk, I mean, splurge away. But you're not, right? And we're all young people, and I'm sure a lot of us are very, very much all about wealth building, right? And financial stability. And so if that is what you're about, it is dangerous, right? And I think it's a way of masking something more deep-rooted. And so we have to fix that and get the bag.
So now let's talk about social media, yeah? These days on social media, we see lots of, let me unbox my iPod 2030. Let me unbox my this and that. Oh, I just got my new tech. There are lots of trends, there are lots of unboxing of luxury items, like we tell me. I mean, everybody likes luxury, particularly the youth, the influencers, the people out there. They like this, How does this affect our spending habits as young people?
I mean, constant exposure to that sort of content puts one at the risk of overspending, right? So we need to limit that amount of, consumption. But at the same time, we cannot shut it off completely, right?
Yeah.
And so what do? You need to plan yourself accordingly. You need to realize that you're not the same as these influencers. You need to prioritize the things that are important to you, know your wants and your needs, and apportion your finances accordingly.
Now, have you ever had or been in the juncture where you splurged or you bought some things that you didn't need at some point and you're like, oh my God, what's this? And, were you buying unnecessary things? Were you buying too much? How did you curtail all of that?
So, crazy thing, right? It's not a one-time thing. It's not a one-point thing. It's like a constant struggle.
Why is it constant, though?
Because there are so many things to buy. And again, the amount of things we see people doing out there, it's like, I am not doing enough. And so, a lot of times I see myself running back to my savings. I have two accounts, yeah.
Okay.
One is for savings and the other, I just use it to like pay off my expenses and all of that. So constantly I find myself going back to my savings, and now that's a problem because I need to save, I need to create wealth, but I see myself going back there. So I make conscious effort every time now not to, go back to my savings account, but then keep to my budget, so plan accordingly.
So now let's talk about financial realities and consequences here. Many young people live paycheck to paycheck because they want to, meet up with some standards like you just mentioned. They want to buy. You see them running back to their savings, like you said. I feel like you've been there. You've been sucked in this whole brouhaha of trendy things. I want to buy. So, do you think the prioritization of trendy things, what do you think happens to their spending habits, or what happens to them when they prioritize being influenced by people disregarding how much or what it is they have in their accounts to afford these lifestyles?
I mean, it's just unfortunate. However, peer pressure and the need to impress is something that we cannot take away. Even as individuals, we find ourselves comparing ourselves to other people.
Yeah.
But we need to take a step back and not try to be impressed by those people or even try to impress them, right? So, what is it that you love? Find that thing and, spend within your means. I have this rule: don't spend above your means. If you're earning 500,000, your means is absolutely 250,000. You don't have to think you're earning 500.
Right.
Exactly. So yeah, always bear that in mind.
Okay, so what's one financial mistake that you've made and corrected, over time?
One financial mistake, right? Not putting aside my 20%. So what is that 20%?
Okay.
It's the savings. I'm going to tell you about that
Okay,
later.
please.
Okay, so there's like a 50, 30, 20 rule, right? So 50% goes to your needs, 20% goes to your savings, and 30% goes to your needs, right? So the 20%, I make it a habit to always set that aside every time I get an inflow. That way, I never have to struggle to save, right? So the problem is a lot of times in the past, right? I used to not remember to set aside the 20%, and I'll be at the end of the day I've paid all my bills, but then I didn't save and I would feel so much regret. But that has changed. I've changed.
Have you really changed?
Yeah.
Have
absolutely.
you? Okay, so now there are some people who try to live up to certain lifestyle. What's your advice on someone who feels the pressure to keep up with a certain lifestyle but cannot afford it?
Set your own timeline. You're not Emiola. You cannot live like him. There are just so many variables, right? You might feel, oh, we're the same age grade. Why is he spending so much? How is he living the life that he lives? But he is not in the same timeline as you. So set your own timeline and work with that. It's not a competition. Just live your truths.
Okay, now there's something about minimalism here, and some people think this minimalism is just for some kind of people, or some people think it's for the wealthy, and I have a problem with it. Minimalism sounds great, but is it realistic for a young average person who loves fashion, loves tech, loves to buy, loves to collect items, loves to splurge on things that make them feel like, oh, it's a therapy, oh my god, it's therapy to me, I like shopping? Because do you think minimalism is just for wealthy people?
Is it realistic? Absolutely. But you have to be very intentional about not splurging. Again, you love those things, right? So you have to be intentional. You cannot be as extreme as the Jenners, right? And it is not just for the rich. It's a mindset thing, right? Being a minimalist is a mindset thing. So do that mindset shift so that you can still get those things that you love, but you're not going the extra to buy them. You're setting money aside, you're setting a goal, you get them, and then move on to the next best thing.
Okay, some people say it's a privilege to choose to have less. I mean, like you said, when you get wealth, you're now like, okay, these things don't matter. I'm now wealthy. I don't need to buy all the recent gadgets going on online. I don't need to do this and that. How can someone take small steps toward being more intentional, like you mentioned, with their purchases without giving up what they love? Because this is what they like. The people who like having the latest gadgets. Okay, now there's iPhone 16 out there. Oh my God, I want to get an iPhone 16 and all of that. This is what they love. This is something that they're attached to. Maybe they have anxious attachment styles. So, so how do they, make small steps on this without giving up what they love entirely?
Again, plan. I know this is literally the most cliche of all things cliche you've probably heard. Plan, plan, plan. But that's the reality. You need to plan for those things. And separate your want from your need. You want the latest iPhone 16. Is that a want really? You have a 14 Pro Max. It serves you.
Maybe it's old. Maybe my 14 Pro Max is old and I just want to, be like Chiamaka, own the latest gadgets, have an iPad, have a system, have everything. Is it bad for me to want it all?
No, it's not. But you need to plan to get there. You need to set money aside for all of those. Remember how I said it is realistic, but you have to be intentional and you cannot be extreme. And there's also the whole mindset behind it. So tell yourself, I need this, but I'm going to need this amount of time to save up in order to be able to afford
to get this.
Exactly.
Okay.
So set that time, plan, budget, and execute.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll continue this conversation after we take a quick break. And when we're back, we'll talk about practical tips and takeaway.
Are you ready to join the conversation shaping the future? This is Youth Hub, your go-to TV show where youth ideas and impact collide. Want to tackle the tough questions? We delve deep into the topics that matters: youth empowerment, gender equality, leadership, and mental health, real stories, real struggles, real situations. And it's not all talk. We make it fun with live challenges, creative contests, and interactive segments. You're not just watching the show, you are part of it. Catch Youth Hub every Thursday at 3 p.m. on Global Television. Be heard, be seen. Youth Hub, fueling dreams, sparkling change, and amplifying your voice.
Many thanks for staying with us. This is Youth Hub, and I am your host, Hosanna Carrefour. Thank you for staying with us. So, Chiamaka, let's continue on this, conversation because it's really interesting because I splurge, so maybe I'm learning too. Okay, now, so let's talk about tips on how to make people, young people particularly, because it feels like we don't know how to manage our money. Because I remember back then in school, I had a friend who, maybe because their parents had excessively to give, and you notice that sometimes, as at then, her dad would send her like 200,000, 300,000. Well, it's okay to do for your kids what you were not able to do, or your parents were not able to do for you then. But somehow along the line, I feel like parents need to teach their kids what no one taught them, other than always giving. So she always had this idea of I don't know how to manage. My dad will send me money. I don't know how to manage. So what are 3 quick tips for a student watching out there who feels they cannot manage, or who feels they have mismanagement kind of problem, on how to help them manage their money better so as to plan for these things like you said, and also acquire the things that they love to?
Right. One quick one is, remember the 50-20-30 rule. There's a reason why the 20 is in between, right? It's not 50-30-20. Now 50% goes to your wants, 20% to your savings, and then 30 to your needs. Now your needs are down there on the priority list. Your wants are things you cannot do without. And then there's your savings, right? We can all save. We need to just mentally prepare. Now your 20% can literally be 5,000.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be as small as that. So set that aside. Another quick one, very practical, is draw up an Excel sheet. We are all very familiar with Excel. If you're not, you can just do like a table. It's fine.
Okay.
That. Just draw up an Excel sheet and have like your budget, your whole financial plan on there. put all of those wants and your needs, what are they, call their names, right, and budget for those things. And then very funny, my friends always laugh about this one. I set an alarm for when they're going to pay. So during seasons, when my salary is going to come in.
An alarm?
Yeah, so a few days before, you see my phone, it always pops up. The reminder
like
comes
a reminder.
up. Yeah. Put out your savings first, right? And then a few days after, because those are the times when you're like, I've worked so hard. I need to buy myself this. I need to do
get
that.
A new wig.
Do you understand? Like the struggle is real. So even now, I still do that. I'm sure if it was like the 24th or something, you'll see my reminder popping up. So it's like, put that money aside.
So what if you don't get paid within that time that you it keeps popping up?
That's why I have a few days after. So it's going to pop up till like the 30th or like the 2nd, as the case may be, right? So I would never forget that. I would never forget that part. So those are my quick tips, right, on, ensuring that you don't splurge. And if you're a student, start now. Get what is it called, the piggy bank thingy. My kids right now, they have like a piggy bank. So really? Every time someone gives them cash, they're like, I need to go put it there.
Oh my God.
And it was just a makeshift piggy bank, and we wrote it a huge piggy bank. It was like a cracker container they had gotten. So even little kids can learn to save early on, but you need to teach them. Nobody taught us this. You need to make conscious effort. And lastly, I follow people who give financial advice on social media.
Okay.
One person who is doing really amazing is Shady, the assistant. Shout out to him. I mean, this is not an ad. I don't even know him personally, but he gives you advice free of charge, and you don't even have to register, although he does have classes. But just follow somebody, watch YouTube videos, do something. Make that effort to try to like set money aside for yourself. We need to get this money. I'm
telling you. But what if in a situation where you keep saving this money, you do this 80-30% rule, and something just comes and just sweeps all your money, and you have to ask people now look at you like, Shebi, you are working, why are you not getting? There's this pain of all that. What if all your money just goes away, or you get robbed, or you enter a one chance? Because there's a problem with it right now.
Right. So the thing is that you call the what a circumstance. What if that happened? It's not your constant.
Okay.
Right. So if you plan this whole time and then you run into that, then it's easy for you to handle. But imagine you did not plan the whole time. You're going to be in a fix for a very long time. I remember when things got really expensive all at once. We all experienced it.
Like everything just went.
How did I become an adult now?
That things are expensive.
Exactly. But then if you're constantly planning, which leads me to the next part, you're saving money, but that's just a small bit of it. You need to grow that money. Because if you're constantly saving, when those things get all expensive, you splurge on them, and that's it. It's gone. It's not coming back. So what's the next quick thing to do? Get multiple streams of income, and then have some means to like grow your income. It might be as little as investing in anything legal, please.
Legal, emphasis on legal, please.
So invest in something, find a way to grow your money, make pastries at home and sell them, just so that you're not depending on one stream of income. And whatever money you've been saving, put it into that business and get some money back, and then save some, and then keep growing the rest. So save and invest, grow your money.
Okay, now do you think young people should embrace the culture of taking influencers, social media people as, role models? You're like, okay, my influencer, because it's influencer people, they literally peg on younger generation. Oh, imagine your fan now, or someone you like, for example, Hilda Bassi is, she got this, oh my God, that's my role model, she got this, I'm getting it. Do you think young people should incorporate this lifestyle of picking influencers as their role models?
So the topic around role models, I don't do role models.
Okay.
It's very tempting to like want to, oh, this is my role model. I emulate practices and characters. So you do this thing and I love it about you. For instance, Kate Henshaw. I want to be like her when I grow up. And I started working out, but she's not my role model.
Okay.
She's just somebody I follow when it comes to fitness. So no, I would advise anyone out there, don't do role models. Nobody has it all perfect. And influencers, one thing you need to understand about them is it's all strategy.
Really?
It's not
so
you.
All of these cars, all of these phones, new hairs, and travel to Dubai. Oh, please. All these travels are strategy. Where do I get the money to travel from? I want that strategy too.
So yeah, when I say strategy, it doesn't mean what they are getting is fake.
Okay.
They've worked to get there, and who did they use to work to get there? You, the audience.
Right.
They've told you, oh, you need to do that, that, and that, and they've positioned themselves such that the people who promote these things will come to them. Oh, I need you to tell your audience this so that they can patronize me, and in return, I give you this.
Okay.
So are you following them? Who is going to give you those things in order to influence them for the next person? Nobody. You're just going to spend your money. So if they are doing something that you'd love, you would want to have that, work for it, set your own timeline for those things, and set your money aside for those things. I want to do an international trip this year to my vision board, right? I'm not going to go follow one influencer to do that. I'm going to ask myself, what are my realities? Can I achieve this? Where can I go to? It could even be Cotonou, my backyard here.
Yeah.
And yeah, there are destinations you can go to and you have Instagram worthy pictures and all is well in your life.
Yes.
You've gone to a different place. You've had your passport stamped. Right, you don't have to go to South Korea. I mean, I want to go to South Korea,
or
but you don't have
Switzerland
to.
or Singapore.
Right, you get the point. So don't take them as your role models. That's my straight off the bat advice. I don't do role models.
Now, is there something about money you wish young people or younger generation should know?
Yes. One thing, you have to be very intentional. You have to make conscious efforts now. Your 20s, your younger years are when you can try, fail, rinse and repeat. So try again, fail. Try again, fail. But that's okay. That's completely okay. When you get to your 30s, 40s, you no longer have that luxury. So make those money mistakes now and learn from them. And then build your wealth from there. You have to be conscious. Please be conscious. I keep repeating this. And then at the end of the day, just realize that, like Tenny said, money can't buy you happiness, but it does buy you options, and that's why we're chasing it. So please be intentional and don't be all about the money. I mean, get it, but don't be all about it.
You know, when I hear this thing of money can't buy happiness, I'm really always, startled. I'm like, are you sure money cannot buy happiness? Because, well, don't you think that sometimes when you don't have money and someone just sends you money you didn't work for, and you're like, oh, I'm happy, money just got into my account. Okay, now you're laughing because I'm wondering.
I mean, in like the most literal sense, money does buy you happiness, but in the long run, it doesn't. Why do you think?
What do you mean in the long run? Who's running long? I am not.
So there are just so many things that control your happiness. Money is just a bit of it, and that's why I said it buys you options, but it cannot buy you that happiness. But you can find out if I would be happy. Just send me some money. Let's see.
Oh my God, please send us some money and let's see where we're going to be happy. I mean, who said money cannot buy happiness? Well, money can buy me happiness. Okay, so this has been an eye-opening conversation with Chiamaka today, and I really enjoy all of it. We've learned bits on how to take care of our money, plan our life outside the people we think are role models to us. Whether you lean towards minimalism or love treating yourself. I mean, it's not bad to love treat yourself. I mean, someone like me, on the days when I get paid, I go and buy turkey and I eat turkey. I'm like, okay, I've been eating goat meat and I've been eating chicken, so I want to eat turkey. I want to eat turkey because I deserve it. Well, it's not bad, you know. But one thing is clear: being mindful of what we can buy can impact not just our wallets but also our mental well-being and future. Thank you, Chiamaka, for sharing your journey and insight. You know, it's been a very wonderful session with you. Thank you for coming on Youth Hub program.
Thank you very much for having me.
And to our viewers, we want to hear from you. Do you think you could live with less, or are you all about enjoying your life, buying the things that you want to buy, and, you know, jumping from one sale to the other? Oh my God, I got this from this, I got it from that, it's on sale. My friend, go and buy. What's your thought? Drop your thoughts in the comments and use hashtag YouthHubMinimalism to continue the conversation on our YouTube channel at Global TV NG. Thank you so much for joining me on the program today. And did you know you can watch Youth Hub from anywhere around the world, anywhere that you are practically, with Global Television TV app? You can catch up on all our programs just by downloading the app on your iOS or Android devices. Just go to Play Store, Apple Store to download, and voila! You can catch up on all our programs and watch us from anywhere in the world. Thank you very much for joining us on Youth Hub today. I am your host, Hosanna Craft. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.